you don't have like the adult thing who can be busy driving along and thinking of something entirely different. At that stage, children don't play and be thinking of something else. All their whole energies are focused. I mean, that's one of the beauties of the young child, is that they're so focused on what they're doing, generally speaking, or in a healthy child. But this element from about 4 years, that sort of they've had a willing stage, a feeling stage with the language, and now an element of thinking, and this planning is also a part of the thinking. And people say, right, children are ready for school. That's so in our country, and I don't know if it's the same here, at age 5, on their 5th birthday, kids are packed off to school, regardless. You know, it's not that sort of, that's just how it is. Would you have an age or something like that here? Same one? Yeah. Teaching mode. So now I put into teaching strategies in the sense of, so how do you approach that? So just a few precepts for that. So I'd say the teaching mode, the teacher and parents in all they do, say and think are examples which the child imitates. You know, so that's the first principle of all. Teach by example in all actions, feelings and thoughts. Try to be worthy of being imitated. That's a real challenge. You're feeling a bit off colour, you know, and this is why the kindergarten teacher needs to have that, you know, degree of maturity. I remember us saying some days ago, I think I did say, or did I say it only a few people? You can have this span of life. Basic 3, preparing for life, living life, learning from, reflecting on life, and this is sort of up to 7, to 14, and to 21 at this up here. So, and this is the sentient soul, comprehension soul, and then the consciousness soul, times, that's 35, 42, and then 49, was it 56, 63, again with the sort of the spirit self, life, spirit man kind of work on there. And this picture Steiner brings up in the second year when he's speaking to the teacher, said this time is a typical time when people will meet with one another. From 21 to 28 you're going out into the world, often where you will start to build your own friendships, not the ones that you necessarily had in school, but through working and meeting, and often it's a time when people get married. You know, that sort of, they form this lifelong relationship. I don't know what proportion it is, but it's probably a good 50% of people will find their relationships there. So this is that time when people here, you might say, are going to work with one another. And then it says that for people who go into the next stage, the conscious, this part here, the comprehension soul, they're quite good. Their life experience is good for those who are in the soul maturity stage are good for the class teacher one, and these people, their degree of maturity is good for the 0 to 7 stage. So, and I was saying, somewhere this early childhood stage needs something of that kind of maturity, sort of life experience that can stand and stand in a wonderful way here. I mean, it's not cast and conquer or anything, but it's just that something of that quality is good. It is the activity, the inner soul striving of a person in that age is one that sort of is inner striving meets somewhat the outer striving of the child there. It's yeah, it needs to be pondered quite a lot, just what all that means. It also means studying. You know, so what does it mean as a person? They go through their early 30s, trying to get a handle on life. You know, before that you lived it all there and think, no, hang on, I need to sort of get certain things organized. You know, this comprehension. And I think that's when they used to call it the intellectual soul. You could feel that's right. We've got to do this and this, so on. Did I characterize these souls also? Somebody put one of the writers on these put a nice picture of these 3 times here. Said this is like when you go to the supermarket, and you go through the supermarket and you say, "Oh, that's great. I'll have that." You know, this kind of plucking things. That looks interesting, and you sort of put them all in the basket, you know, like this. It's sort of like the experience of the sentient soul. You go around the world, that looks interesting. Yeah, we'll do this trip, we'll have this experience, we'll climb this mountain, we'll go to this ashram, whatever it is that you do. Then the next stage is you've done the shopping, you put it in your car and you bring it home and you open. Gee, did I get that? There's an element of, well, now what do we do with it? There's an element of say, right, okay, that should go in the bathroom, this should go in the kitchen, this should go in the cleaning cupboard, you know, that in the garage, or whatever it is. There's a kind of looking at what you got and sorting it out, trying to make sense of what it is, that all that you've gathered in that time is now trying to make sense of it. And there's also, I said, a time around this time that quite often people say they're looking for a change. And here they've sort of met whatever comes to them. This or that job comes up. And here there's a feeling now, as I sometimes carry it, I now need to get a proper job. That is, that's something that really comes out of me. I'm not just meeting the world in and responding to the world and what I see, but you know, so I found a lot of people used to come to Taruna College then because they were looking for something deeper. They wanted to have, in the teaching, they felt, I want this to have real meaning, you know, and so that was a stage with, and so the kind of study they'd undertake there was trying to sort of make sense of the world. How can I understand all these things I've come across that they have a deeper meaning? It's searching for the deeper meaning. And then for the shopping assistant one there is sort of, you put all the things in the right place, and now you have to say, well, I've got to now make use of them. What am I going to do with this skill or this thing that I've bought in the shoot? You know, where am I going to make use of it? Having bought it, I should do something with it. There's an element of that, I think, in this consciousness soul stage is sort of trying to now sort of as a kind of reaching out in a way, taking all of these things that you've done, now putting into practice. So you might have studied something that has deeper meaning. Now you've got to go out and do something with it so that it gives more directed.